Good evening, everyone. Tonight I thought I'd show you just how difficult the Franz Liszt Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 is by going slowly and letting you see some of the intricate details that Liszt has written in there that make it next to impossible for the pianist to do anyway, especially if you've got arthritis. But it's really remarkable writing. So I'll begin by just playing slowly and letting you see, and then I'll do some hands separate because sometimes he's got really wild things going in each hand separately and you've got to put it hands together. Unreal. But anyway, to begin with, it's lento but capriccioso, so it's got to feel playful. But it's 2/4 time, and right off the bat it's got the acciaccatura start. So I count it 4/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, into the last sound part, it's andante mesto, so it's got to have that sad sense to it, but it does say that it's pesante, which is heavily, so if you can count it 4/16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then at the end of this, it's the 4/16 is 2/32. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And if you want it to sound more like a gypsy feel to it, you extend the length of that dotted note and make it like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's very difficult. It starts with a little turn there, and then it's 32nd note, or 64th notes, I guess it is. I can't even see it. So, but anyway, there's 4 out of the 5 black keys, and then if you can just write in the fingering and remember to use it every time, then you can get the speed going. So you got to know to bring the left hand in on the way up just before you get the top, and on the way down after you've reached the top. So that's the idea. And then a crescendo on top of that. And when it comes down here, if you can remember 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's hard because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So this has to come in right after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Those are hard because they're double thirds, which makes it really hard. So you play this, and then you've got to go 3, 2, 4. So here it is here. And that's hard. It's got to be 3, 2, 4. You got to get that in and then do that. Now the capriccioso part is a nightmare. The right hand is going for 3/16 and then 1/16 and then, so just before the one on each quarter, you get one of these little ornaments. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I ended up doing uneven practice on the, pretending they're all quarter notes and go, and get the fingering that way. And then triplets and so on, all the different ways, so that you end up with, and you've got to hold that dotted eighth the same amount in every bar, so twice in every bar. So 1, 2, 1. That's hard. 1, 2, 1, 2. I nearly got it. See, those were all dotted eighths followed by a 16th, where now it suddenly changes to all happening on the eighth. So and that's another hellish bar, because you've got a trill going on the top with staccatos underneath. Now on the left, on each quarter, the first is easy, it's just a note like that, but on the second quarter, it's one of these things. So you got to get this. I had a wrong note there. So you have to put that together with this, which is good. So and this one's, so now when it gets to this part, the first eighth is 5/30 seconds, all staccato, and then the next three are just fours, with the melody being brought out as the first note of each of those groups. Now 5, and then back to 4. Now it changes to 5 on every eighth. And of course, that's the weak side of the hand. So and the left has its little things on the second quarter. First quarter is just a quarter, no problem. But then so what I ended up doing is practicing it solid, and that's just, it's not written, it's written G sharp, B sharp, G sharp, D sharp, but if you want to just memorize, it's like an A flat major solid chord, root position. So it's going like A flat, I mean it's really written as G sharp, but that's just like a second inversion of the same chord. And then C sharp minor second inversion, repeat. So it's, and he's got one pedal for the whole thing. And there it changes. So, but that's all one chord, so that's why it's one pedal. But you got to put that together with all this business of changing from 4 to 5 to 4 to 4 and back to 5 and all this kind of stuff. So, and staccato and everything else. Got to hear every note. And he puts a trill. And then it goes off to the races again. So this part's really quite simple. This is all part of that Lassen part, and it's sorry, that is that's the end of that section, and then it comes the Frisca part. I'll just show you a bit of that. It's so difficult. Again, you've got all these things at the start of each bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And of course one is, but I just want you to hear the clarity of each individual note. That's now here it's the same as it was in the right in the first part, but in the left comes in now, and it on the second quarter it's got one of these things, and so this is all pianissimo once you get it going. Now it's all going at once. So. Now it's really hard, this part, to figure out the fingering, because it's mixing the hands and the voices. So you've got to bring out the voice in like the thumb of the left. And it's to know which notes to use your thumb on. And so I put the fingering as 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. But then when it comes the next time, I go 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, and then I put the right thumb, the left thumb comes in, and then the right thumb. So here it is. Now, it comes in with octaves. Reaches out, so you got to be able to go up those octaves. So now it changes and then it comes. That's the part that everybody enjoys, because they know the melody of it. But it's not easy either, because some of them have 3 notes, some of them just 2. You got to memorize which ones. So it's 3 of them there, 3 of them there, 3 of them there. Now just an octave, then 3. He's not satisfied with making it that hard. He makes you go down. You got to reach those bass notes like the, while you play a chord above it, in between yeah. So yeah. And there you've got to get a 5 on that. This is really hard because he wants more motions. In other words, you got to go faster. But the thumb is the melody. It's so tempting to want to just play it, but to keep it slow. And so on. Well, I must get this little bit in here. And that's not an octave, it's... Now, those are little acciacchituras. So on. It's just a nightmare, but it's good for building up your strength of your hands, your technique, and when you can start to put expression in it, then it'll become fun. But it just needs so much slow, heavy practice to get to that point. But I just thought I'd show you some of the intricate details of, and that's only half the piece. So, and then at the end, it comes all these octaves, and just becomes fierce. But it's lots of fun to practice anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good night. Bye-bye.